tell you the truth, I was in shock. All right, I got a really nice email last week and I was thrilled to receive it. I wanted to share it with you. It's an email from the Ontario Trucking Association. I want to congratulate you on your endorsement by the Ontario Trucking Association Nominations Committee to the OTA Board of Directors and the OTA Executive for 2024-2026. Yes, your name will be read in the record on the OTA AGM being held next week, which was yesterday at the Delta Hotel by the Marriott in Toronto. To tell you the truth, I was in shock. So what does this email mean? Okay, so 9 months ago, I joined as a member. And then the emails started floating around probably about 3 months ago or 2 months ago about, if anybody would like to join the board. And I think they have their own internal discussion about who they allow to join the board. So I submitted a form saying that I would like to join the board. And then 2 months later after that, I received an email and I was very thrilled that I've been chosen to be a part of the board. Really exciting stuff. So yesterday I went to the Delta Hotel in downtown Toronto. I hate going downtown Toronto. Bumper to bumper traffic nonstop. Got there at about 11 a.m. I was supposed to be there for 11:30. And I have to say I was a little nervous. I didn't know what to expect. I walked into a meeting that started off at 9 o'clock, but I wasn't able to join because the announcement only came in at around 11:30 or 12 o'clock about, the new board members. Really nice setting. I'd probably say there was about 50, 60 people there, in the attendance. And it was really nice to see, first of all, how organized they are. I just got to see, a glimpse of some of the speakers that they had over there. Very informational on how change is actually made. So until today, I've been advocating, on social media platforms, and I have over 600,000 followers across the 4 platforms. But at some point or another, you come to the realization, it's great to have this audience and it's amazing to have, so many followers. But in order to actually implement change, you need to go through the right avenues and you need to go through the right channels. And I believe that the OTA is a great starting point for me. So why the OTA? So many of my ideas actually align 100% with the OTA's, objectives. So the first thing obviously is cracking down on driver ink. So I've been an advocate for this, for probably around 4 years. I've been doing videos on, cracking down and how to crack down. It was interesting that number one thing on their agenda is, cracking down on that driver ink. So that I would say aligns 100% with channels and what I believe. After being there and spending, the full day there, I was there probably until 11 p.m. Got to meet a lot of the people, a lot of the directors over there. So, after hours came and, 6, 7 p.m. came along and the Halloween party started and, everybody's drinking, everybody's having a good time. And I talked to a lot of the board members and man, they are unbelievable. I was very nervous. Like I'm really good in front of a camera, but when around people, I might be a little bit more shy or people expect me to be a lot more talkative than I actually am. But they really gave me this comfortable feeling that, hey, welcome. We really like the fact that you're a part of this team. I got some pictures with some of them and I must say that I'm really excited about this opportunity. So another big thing that's on their agenda where I feel like we really align one-to-one with is about drivers and the regulations around getting Class 1 licenses here in Ontario. I think that we are aligned on the fact that it should be a little bit more difficult to get Class 1 licenses. There should be a lot more regulations on that. So we definitely see eye to eye on that point. And also, I think at the forefront of everything is making these roads safer. And I talk about this constantly on my channels, that my family, my kids are on this road. And so is everybody watching this. We're all sharing these highways. And there's definitely things that we can do as a community, as the Ontario Trucking Association, that we can do in order to make these highways a lot safer. So a big step in our direction. Now, I'm not going to stop there. I am going to try to get into the Canadian Trucking Association. And the reason why I want to get into the Canadian Trucking Association is also because I have a terminal that we're building in Moncton, New Brunswick. So we're not just representing Ontario anymore. It's Ontario and Moncton, New Brunswick. And I don't know what the future holds, but I'm sure we might probably expand, in the future into other provinces. So I definitely want to get into the Canadian Trucking Association. And I also, in the near future, want to get into the American Trucking Association. And why the American Trucking Association is because over 100 power units that we have, I would say 80% of them are running in the US cross-border. And 80% of the time, those drivers are in the US more than they are in Canada. So I truly want to get into the American Trucking Association also. I think it's been now 2 years or a year and a half that we've had our terminal in Atlanta, Georgia. And we're not going to stop there. I think we have our eyes set on Illinois next. So over the next 6 months, we should be, coming out with some great news that we are opening up a terminal in Chicago, probably 30, 40 minutes outside of Chicago. So at the end of the day, I mean, a part of these associations, just remember that I'm advocating for you out there. So first and foremost, I'm an advocate for truck drivers. I'm an advocate for truck drivers, I'm an advocate for owner-operators, and I'm advocating to keep our roads safer for all of us. Now, I also wanted to congratulate Mark Bilsma, president of Spring Creek Carriers, named chairman of the Ontario Trucking Association for a 2-year term, and I wanted to tell him congratulations. I actually did get a chance to talk to him, to have a drink with him, and he's a really stand-up, amazing guy. So looking forward to being a part of this association. Over the next couple of months, I will be providing some polls out there for my audience, again, on things that you'd like for me to bring up, on changes that you would like for me to make, or on changes that you'd like me to voice out in these associations. And I truly believe that it will get me to know my audience a lot better on certain things that you would want as truck drivers, as owner-operators out there. So make sure you're subscribed to this channel and keep an eye out for my polls and my updates, and I'll keep you guys informed on what's happening in the Ontario Trucking Association. I'm Ronen, and I'll catch you in my next video.